All right, guys, we got a pretty juicy video. Man, at the opening of the day, we gapped down all the way to 5.43. Lot of capitulation, a lot of fear. Bam. I mean, like going down so much. There's some new bankruptcy information FUD going on. We'll debunk that in a moment, but we came back up, man. That's pretty good. And we're actually green right now. We were down as much as like 7-8% at the opening minutes. So that was pretty incredible. But let's take a big look at the bigger picture. So if we move into the hourly chart, take a look. Damn. So like I said, this thing holding a thin line. This was yesterday when I made that video, and then bam, we went down, down, down. Violent move down, and now we're coming back up. And it seems like this right here, around 5.83, that is resistance that used to be support. So we'll have to see if we can break above that. If not, be prepared for possibly more downside. Okay, possibly. I hope we can break through that, break above 5.83, break above this previous line that we unfortunately failed to hold. But yeah, right now you see how this used to be. There's a tap right there and just a slight overshoot over there, and this is a big resistance, 5.83. Very important. We want to get above that. Cool. Now in this video, I'll also talk about some of the catastrophic best performers in terms of Chinese stocks. It'll absolutely shock you. So let's first talk about this. So I was brought to my attention this thing over here. So new bankruptcy information 2025. First of all, I want to say NIO is not going to go bankrupt this year, 100%. Next year, probably not gonna go bankrupt. All right, NIO has a lot of money and they're doing a lot of measures to save on money. So context, I am working for a software company. NIO is a customer of ours in China. My Chinese colleague shared this information with me over MS Teams. Great insight directly from NIO employees. So this is obviously a leaked chat, and we'll have to see and maybe talk, see if anything inside here is valid. It says, "Hi, I'm fine, and how are you? No, I don't have any plans for an event at the moment, but I will keep an eye on it. For the Alps, yes, the debut will be in 2024 July, but from today's point of view, it is impossible. Maybe at the end of 2024 or at the beginning of 2025. Most of the Alps engineers were laid off. The rest were integrated into NIO. For your information, it's still far away. No plan of when it will debut. All three platforms, NIO, Alps, and Firefly, are shortage of money. I just contacted my previous colleague who worked below me and now is working in NIO. He told me if at the beginning of 2025, the NIO sales is still at the level of 10K unit per month, a bankruptcy is not far away. In this circumstance, to sell to Alps is impossible." Okay, so a lot to digest over here. First of all, let's go with this sentence over here. Alps sub-brand debut in 2024 summer. Yes, of course. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. And then maybe at the end of 2024 in terms of sales and deliveries, I think we're actually going to be pretty close to sales and delivery before the end of 2024. But that's just my personal opinion, okay? So this is allegedly a leaked conversation. Can't say for the validity, but we'll have to take things with a bucket of salt. Most of the Alps engineers were laid off. The rest integrated into NIO. Possibly, yes. We know that they have been doing a lot of cost-cutting measures, and unessential teams or redundant teams were either laid off or integrated into NIO with the other teams. So yes, there could be some truth towards that. It's still far away. No plan when it will debut. I'm not too sure what the sentence is referring to, like the sub-brand. So I'll skip that. All three platforms, NIO, Alps, and Firefly, are shortage of money. Could be totally be possible. They're more like constricted right? NEO CEO is tightening the grip in terms of how much money each department is getting, and if they don't generate positive impact on the earnings, then obviously it's going to get cut off. So that does make sense. And now he told me at the beginning of 2025, if NEO sales is still at the level 10K unit per month, bankruptcy is not far away. You don't need me to tell you or anybody to tell you that if we maintain 10K units per month, that's not spectacular results. We need like 20K, 30K. If we get to 40K a month, that's where NEO will be possibly profitable. But right now, this is not sustainable. 10K units per month, especially with the overhead that NEO has in terms of all the stores, the sales reps, everything they have, and they're building swap stations like crazy. If you watch one of my older videos where the CEO talks about what they're going to spend money on in 2024, they're going to keep on spending money on R&D. They're going to keep on spending money on infrastructure. They're going to keep on expanding, and they're going to keep on partnering up with battery swap partners. So it looks like, the cash burn, yes, they're leveling it off, but they're still spending quite a lot of money, especially 1,000 more swap stations in 2025. That's quite expensive. And then they still have rent. The good thing is they're cutting off on a lot of the NEO houses. So like they're not building newer NEO houses, but the existing ones, they're still keeping it. So if that makes any sense. So this is overall quite scary, but there's nothing really new here, I'd say. There's nothing really new that we didn't know about, okay? Yeah, so I wouldn't say, I wouldn't put too much validity into this, to be honest, okay? Yeah, engineers laid off, integrated into NEO, yeah, and also I learned from some EP Club members, and these guys are people that have direct contact with NEO CEO, that apparently a lot of the mobile phone division guys also got laid off. And basically it was, they needed a lot of people to get the project up and running, but then once everything's done, they essentially become sort of redundant, and you don't really need that many staff to refresh a phone for next year. So a lot of people were laid off. So yeah, take it for what it's worth. But I want to also talk about some of the Chinese stocks. In general, some of the best performing Chinese stocks have been actually not doing too well, to be honest. So I saw this post online here in China, which was quite spectacular, about some of the Chinese stocks. And the best performing Chinese stock is this company, 600519. And this company is Multi, and this is the number one alcohol brand here in China. They sell like a ton. And apparently this company, if you invested in it 3 years ago, and look at how much it's down. Yeah, if you invested it 3 years ago, near the peak, with $1 million, you'd be left with $730,000. So this is actually the best performing one. So you'd be down 27%. So yeah, this is the best performing one. The second best performing one, 600036, China Merchants Bank. Yeah, this is one of the biggest banks here in China, but down quite a lot if you invested in it 3 years ago. Right now, yeah, with 1 million, you'd be left with 540K, almost a 50% drop. Quite nasty. China's biggest insurance company. Let's take a look at that. 601318. Ping An Insurance. Yes. Oh man, just also quite a nasty drop. 3 years ago, yeah, you 1 million invested, you'd be down to about 530,000 RMB. Now, one familiar guy that NEO also deals with, CATL, Contemporary Ampere. Take a look. Damn. If you invested in 3 years ago, that would be 3 years ago, 300-ish. Right now, with 1 million, you would be down to 510K. Pretty tough. And some of the other ones, I mean, this is just the top 4. If you go to like number 10 on the list, 300999, this is one of the biggest food companies here in China in terms of manufacturing grains and also oil, etc., like cooking oil. Man, they're just down so much. Take a look. Man, if you invested a million RMB into this stock 3 years ago, you would be down to 260,000. So like a 74% drop. Yeah, so these were some of the 10 best performing stocks. And you can imagine, 10 best performing stocks not doing too well, to be honest. And this could be a contrarian signal that perhaps the bottom is near. Perhaps the bottom is near indeed. And that we should perhaps maybe take the contrarian approach and maybe look at picking the bottom, right? But if you look, I still have that 4.72 level labeled. We could possibly get there. Okay, I definitely don't hope we get there, but this is pretty scary, and this might not be the end of it, unfortunately. Yeah, you never know with China, right? Some bullshit comes out, and then like some new shit comes out. There's always some shit that comes out, some fraud shit. But NEO, there's nothing fraudulent about NEO. It's more like just the overall market conditions not so great for Chinese stocks. So we'll have to see. I mean, like this, in general, it looks kind of scary, and it does look kind of scary, and it looks like we might be topping over here, bumping our head on the ceiling. But who knows? Perhaps this is it for the drop. Maybe that's not it for the drop. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.